as a journalist, you feel that Christians are under serious attacks on our religious freedoms just by what you cover, what you see.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You know, I'm kind of an amateur historian in the sense that I'm very interested in history. And if you study history, of course, Christians have always been under attack, all the way back to the Roman Empire. Interesting that Christianity replaced the Roman Empire, uh, the
Yeah.
embattled early church, and of course, all through the Middle Ages. And things were so bad in Europe that a lot of our ancestors actually came here for religious freedom, which was enshrined in our Constitution and Bill of Rights. And Christians have had it so good for so long. It was just a given that we had religious freedom that we're like shocking to see. But it's because of a different worldview. We believe in God. We believe in the Bible. The Bible tells us how to live. There's other people that, I believe it's spiritual warfare. They're motivated by the father of all lies, and they don't see it that way at all. And they resent Christians trying to tell them how to live. That you telling them that they can't have an abortion, or that you can't gamble, or whatever the issue is. And they want to get us off the scene. They want to undermine us. They want to intimidate us. They want us to just stay in the four walls of our church, and in there we can shout and raise our hands and whatever we want
Right.
to do, but it doesn't affect anything as far as they're concerned. And they want to intimidate us. They're this whole thing about shutting down churches. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's horrible hypocrisy. And the hypocrisy is that the same governors that were saying you couldn't have more than 10 people in a church because it was unsafe are refusing to stop the looting. In fact, a friend of
Right.
mine tweeted, he's got a good sense of humor, or at least I think it's a good sense of humor. He tweeted, "Hey, because of COVID-19, no more than 25 looters in a store at any time." I mean,
Yeah.
somehow having thousands of people that are not social distancing in all kinds of protests are fine, but going to church isn't. Or having the grocery stores and hardware stores open. Yeah, we need those things, of course, but there's no constitutional right for Home Depot to be open. There is a constitutional right for the church to be open. And,
Yes.
people need medical assistance and all that kind of stuff, but we need spiritual help. Depression and anxiety are through the roof. We need to be able to be with our Christian brothers and sisters. I'm just very, very concerned about it. And it goes right in hand. It shows a trend. There's a trend with a lot of people in the government who have power that are exerting their power to be against Christians, against religious freedom. And it's one more reason why we have no choice but to put Donald Trump back into office. And that's the point of both of my books. In fact, I consider that God, Trump, and COVID-19 is really part B of the election, which is part A. The two books go together. One does not replace, and it was my way to try to. And also, frankly, the media has been a lot more interested in talking about COVID-19 in relationship to the election and so forth. And the Lord has opened up for me a lot of doors, including 1 week from today, I sat in front of the same computer monitor and Skyped over to the BBC in London. They wanted to know what
Mm.
Christians were thinking of this unrest. And people can go online or go to my blog and see it. They said it'd be 3 minutes. It was actually 6 minutes. So being on the Jim Bakker show is great because we have more time. But I was
That's
telling
right.
them from a Christian point of view that none of us approve of what happened in Minneapolis. Nobody. I said,
That's
there's
right.
no sane
Yes.
American. We are not divided at all. But then I talk about what's happening, and even my book on how I'm trying to deal with it from a spiritual point of view. And I ended by saying, millions of Christians are praying, and we're praying for a mighty outpouring of the Holy Spirit. It's the only thing that's going to fix things in America. And the announcer was very nice to me, although he kept pushing, pushing, pushing. But he said, we'll leave it there. Interesting that on live TV, the Lord gave me an open door to talk about an outpouring of the Holy Spirit. That's really what's needed. I believe that 100%. That is just not rhetoric as far as I'm concerned. And that's what comes out in my books. In fact, I talk about the spiritual dimension. I talk about how even a lot of leaders, Christian leaders are talking about a mighty revival, and that's actually how it came
Yes.
up in that BBC interview.